It says here the recording has started. That means you've now entered the Mestizo stand-up morning routine zone, where I interview stand-up comments about their curious morning habits, and they pretend, they lie, they outright obfuscate because some of the shit they do is downright silly. Big up. So you already see I put his name up on the screen. I got stand-up comedian Erik Escobar in the house. And if you want to jump on Instagram right now, damn it, you're gonna follow him, and you're gonna find the funny because Erik has been a funny motherfucker for a little bit. Isn't that right, Erik?
For a little bit, yeah. If a little bit is 10 years, which feels like a long bit, but I'll take a little bbit. In the grand scheme, you know what I mean? It's all perspective. Let's do it, baby.
Oh wait, so only 10 years? So like when you were a kid, like no one ever said, Erik, hey, you're funny. It was you just you're well into adulthood when you actually said something funny. Am I understanding this right?
Maybe accidentally I was funny as a little kiddo. When I was like in, I don't know, like sixth, seventh grade, I was doing a lot of music. I love doing music. In high school, I did like theater and improv. I've always loved attention, and I've always loved, making people happy, entertaining. And it wasn't until I was probably, I don't know, maybe 18, 19 when I really discovered like, yo, the way I like entertaining, the way I like doing it is stand up. That's the grind I'm going to do. And that's what I've been doing since.
No, yeah, I think you have a really dope approach to comedy, a really thoughtful approach, and you represent mestizo through and through. Not only because currently you're wired off the fruit bomb, is that right?
I am. That fruit bomb was taste. Hey, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Okay, so you're not only wired off the mestizo, but you identify as a mestizo. What does this mean?
I do. So I'm half Filipino, and in the Filipino culture, mestizo is when you're half. So what's crazy is, you have a ton of people from the Philippines who moved over to the States, and it was like they were marrying other Filipinos, having kids with other Filipinos, a lot where a lot of people end up, having half Filipinos. And I'm one of those, proud to be Filipino, proud to be Mexican. I love both sides of my heritage. But in the Filipino culture, when you're half, you're mestizo. So when we started like working together, talking, I was like, this is so exciting because this coffee is named after me. So thank you. I will take 40% of the royalty rights. That'd be amazing. That'd be awesome. Appreciate the heads up.
Okay. So half Mexican, half Filipino. I'm gonna go Mexipino. Is that what you rock with, or what?
That's actually on my business card. You got it right. I've
Mexipino. Okay.
Yeah, I had Mexipino. I had Filikin. Filikin just sounded weird. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. I'm rolling with the Mexipino.
Nah. Yeah. The Philippians were in the Bible. You remember them? The Philippians. They were they were smitten. They were smitten for having no humor.
I'm pretty sure James 3:18, if that is the correct verse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's
my Catholic school days.
Yep, that's a humorless tribe. Those motherfuckers.
They were. They didn't have coffee.
Now check it out. Speaking of coffee and speaking of the Old Testament and New Testament, I understand that you have a devotion to coffee. What is your devotion to coffee?
My devotion to coffee is more or less I need it or else I'm very cranky. That is my devotion. Every morning I definitely have a couple cups. Try not to drink too much after like 2, 3 o'clock, but I'm not gonna lie, it happens pretty often. So, forgive my mistakes.
Now, so that sounds like you're addicted. Hello, welcome to the club. Hey, hello everybody. Erik's here. He's addicted.
What's up? Hi. My name's Erik. Hello. Very nice to meet you.
I just happened to do a little research. I actually know, like, you didn't just jump into coffee right away. You started with another substance back in your hometown. I think you call it yerba.
Oh,
yerba.
Word. I was like, let's not talk about the drugs. All right, it'd be great.
No, not that yerba. Not that yerba.
Yerba mate. It was something I discovered when I was probably in my 20s. I was living up north I was in Occidental, which is in West Sonoma, which is just north of San Francisco. And the place where we got gas, because our town didn't have a gas station, it was actually the Guayaki headquarters. And Guayaki, they put out a ton of great yerba mate. You've seen it in the stores. Beautiful yellow cans, beautiful yellow bottles. And living up there, we just drank it on the regular. Like it was always, we were just chugging it. And when I moved away from Sonoma and I came back to LA, there was still yerba mate here. Guayaki still had some love out here. But I was like, well, what? Instead of, drinking that every day, let me just try adapting to coffee. And, started doing a little bit of coffee, started drinking more and more and more. Next thing you know, I wasn't really drinking yerba mate anymore. I had to start that day with that cup of Joe.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons to set aside yerba mate in favor for coffee. I think for me, the first was, what good reason do I have to suck from a metal straw with the 17 other people that I'm enjoying this beverage around? Like
Exactly.
I didn't quite understand like why we're passing around one fucking cup of 4 ounces of liquid, sucking from one straw pre-COVID, mind you.
Yes.
These days are gone. So you don't have to worry about that. Thankfully, you can just enjoy your coffee on your own. Now imagine I put a fucking aluminum a straw in your coffee and we pass that around at a party.
That'd be a weird party, but I'm still down, depending on the coffee. That would be great.
Hey, that's just fire. Hey, the days of passing blunts and bongs and yerba mate are long gone. Now I have to ask you. In the course of my research, I found that you're a morning beverage person. Is this right?
I am. I do love my cup of coffee in the morning. I don't just love my cup of coffee in the morning. I need my cup of coffee in the
So
morning.
so you get your coffee, but you're not exclusive to coffee. When it comes to the great debate, we need to know where you stand. Apple juice versus orange juice.
You know what? I think I put this out here before. I want to say I'm an orange juice guy. I think I'm an apple juice guy. At the core of it, apple juice is a treat. It's wonderful. If I'm going to the store and I see a little apple formed bottle of Martinelli's, oh, I'm going to drink that. And that is a magical day. Orange juice, it's kind of basic. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing mimosas on Sunday morning, orange juice is kind of regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apple juice is refined. It's one way to signal at breakfast that hey, I'm fancier than the rest of you motherfuckers. Like everybody's going orange juice is sweet, it's thick, it's
Mm-hmm.
bright, but apple juice says I like life in the shade. You know, but it's really curious to me. We never get to the bottom of just what kind of apples are being used for this fucking elixir. There's at
This
least
is true.
17 apples in the supermarket, and I'm just getting rando, Gennaro apple juice.
You know what?
I'm
Whatever
good.
they put in it, as long as it's tasty and amazing. I don't think I've ever had a bad glass of apple juice. You know what I mean? It's all great. It's all so
It's
great.
all yeah. I'm not going to argue with you there. Where I might argue is here. Now, when it comes to the bagel
Ooh.
and the English muffin debate, where do you fall?
So you're LA. I'm LA. On the West Coast, we got some good bagels. They're okay. We got English muffins in the grocery store. But when you find like a Jewish deli or a bagel spot that knows how to make bagels, hands down, I'm a bagel guy. All right. You can get it from the grocery store and it's okay. But a good bagel, nothing's better. And on top of it, like we were talking about breakfast sandwiches. All right. You got a breakfast sandwich on a bagel, it's pretty good. You got a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin, it's pretty good. But on a good bagel, so hard to beat. So hard to beat. When it comes though to the sandwich, English muffins get a little extra love because they don't have that hole. There's no like drippage. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So if we're going sandwiches, English muffins get a little nod, but basic, we're going with bagel through and through.
Yeah, I think you make a strong point. I've long had a problem with the English muffin just for one simple reason. I do enjoy it. Yes, it's a little dainty. I guess the British are known
Yeah.
for their daintiness. But what I'm most troubled by is the fact that they refuse to pre-slice that motherfucker for us. Because I've never cut a Thomas English muffin symmetrically. It's
It's
always
it's
this.
it's a tough game.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to use three to get one. You know what I'm saying? So we're already losing. So
I
I'm
don't
with
know
you
if
with
this
the
has happened
bagels.
to you, but if you ever got an English muffin, cut it really bad, put it in your toaster, put it in your whatever, and then one is like not toasted enough and the other one's like burnt to a crisp because you cut it like too thin. It's the
Oh, bro.
most horrible first world problem I've ever experienced.
You're speaking my language. You're speaking my language. Now here we go. You've been to Mouth Washington. What do you
Mm-hmm.
prefer, Listerine or knockoff brand?
You know what? I think the knockoff brand is fine. It's good. But when I want to treat myself, I'm a Listerine man. Straight up. I could pay $1 more. You just get that extra hint of freshness. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's in my head or not. I feel like the knockoff brands have a little more burn. You know what I mean? The burn
Oh, more
is,
burn.
woo, it's intense. And you know what? I love you, burn. I know I'm clean. I know things are out there when the burn happens. But if Listerine can give me 10% less burn, thank you, Listerine. I will pay the extra 45 cents.
No, you're right because the burn does run a gamut, and you don't want too much burn, but then again, you don't want not enough burn. Because I
Yes.
will wonder if Tom's Organic of Maine, with baby breath, is that like really fucking doing the trick? I don't know. I'm
I
not
don't know
convinced.
either. I just know, I want the burn in my mouth, but when the burn is anywhere else in my body, that's when I get scared. All right. As long as the burn is just happening here. I do not want the burn.
Yeah, sometimes I stare at my mouthwash and I'm like, if you love me, punch me. And only Listerine.
I think that's what gave Bernie Sanders so many like creds. You know what I mean? He's a great guy. He's amazing. I wanted him in, but feel the burn. Yo, for my mouthwash lovers, he was the candidate. You can't choose anyone else.
Fuck.
You got the best slogan.
Hey, speaking of burn, every morning if you take that razor on top of your head, tell me that shit don't burn, bro.
You know what? We talked about this a little earlier. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit of a bougie guy. I don't want to be a bougie guy. I don't want to be a fancy guy. I don't shave my own head too often. I go to my barber, and they're a little cleaner, a little less burn.
A little. Wait. They don't hit you with the fucking 100 proof distilled whiskey on top of your head when you're done or whatever.
It's happened before with a couple barbers, and I don't see those barbers anymore.
No, they're like, oh, you're only paying. What's the most you've paid for a haircut? So I've been having this conversation with a lot of homies. What's the most you've paid for a haircut?
So I think I used to pay a decent amount for a haircut because I was going to a barber school and it was $5. And then I would throw another like $5, $10, $15. You got a good haircut. But then the barber that I was going kind of exclusively, the barber school, graduated. He ended up at this really cool barber shop. And when I went to him the first time, I think it was 60. And I think $60 for a shaved head. It was a lot. Every once in a while, I'll hook it up with that homie discount. I always want to make sure I'm tipping him out. I want to make sure, especially in this time, barbers are having a hard time. I want to make sure he's getting his thing. But I don't see him all the time anymore. It's more like a every once in a while thing because $60 for a shaved head, man. I can do that at home.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, the barbershop's a funny place. It's one of those curious places where you might like walk out feeling like $1 million, but smelling like 3 wet pennies. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I smell like a industrial fucking steel mine? It's crazy. Now you've been on the road. You've seen a steel mine or two, I imagine, out on the road as a comic. What's comedy like in steel mine territory?
In this weird COVID world that we're living in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. Sure.
Comedy it's absolutely wild right now. We're at 20% capacity in a lot of places. If you're lucky, maybe they're 30, 40% capacity. Because that doesn't just affect how you get paid because there's less people in there buying tickets. It also affects your merch sales. You know what I mean? If you had 200 people, odds are you're going to sell maybe a dozen shirts. Now there's 40 people and I sell a lighter. It is very interesting how that kind of evens out. But at the end of the day, I love comedy. I love making people laugh. I love the feeling of community and comedy. And I'm staying safe. I'm trying to be good. I'm going out there doing my thing. And it's not the same, but I'm still very, very grateful for the gigs I have.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think your approach, your attitude makes a world of difference in kind of what you talk about and how you talk about it. And just having a comedic approach to life kind of helps life be more enjoyable. And you talk about that, right, with your TED Talk. Isn't that right?
Yeah, in my TED Talk, I definitely kind of try to send the message that, we live in our heads a lot of the time. And a lot of the things that we do are very just kind of in the motions. You know what I mean? How are you? I'm doing good. See you later. All things that are just canned. You know what I mean? Are we even realizing what people are telling us? And I think it's really powerful to stay present in the moment and really kind of react and interact with people in a very present way. Don't blow people off. Just like be you and be in the moment. And I think when you have that presentness and you try to give humor to someone as a gift, there's a lot of connection happening there, and there's a lot of love happening there, and there's a lot of just fun happening there. And I feel like it's such an exciting way to live when you're always kind of in the moment, trying to make people laugh, playing those games. I think at the end of the day, if you're a person who's very, very far on the right and this person's very, very progressive, sure, you may have huge political views or religious views that are different or whatever, but you can still grab a beer. You know what I mean? You still have a conversation. And having that open-minded approach instead of like, I hate everyone, I don't like you, it's beneficial. So be kind to one another, friends.
That's right. I'm tempted to not be kind to my son who just walked into the office and after he printed, I don't know if you heard the printer go off because, this is a full, people think that because COVID's here, things slow down. Nah, bro, we're running on all cylinders. Like I'm actually baking a pizza right here, like right beneath my thighs right now. I actually have one warming.
And you know what goes great with pizza? some mestizo coffee. Order right now. Go online. Check it out. It's the best breakfast in the world. Go for it.
There you go. There you go. There you
All
go.
you listeners, trying to get those plugs in where I can, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, now, so if people want to connect with you, you have stuff going on online. Wait, you have tattoos? Are you tattoo
I do
head?
have tattoos. I'm a big tattoo
Don't you have a
guy.
project related to
do.
tattoos?
I'm actually connected with 3 Sweet Productions. They're an amazing production company. They do a lot of videos. Things slowed down a little bit during COVID, but they're still busting out great content. And I have a show on there called One Liner, where I actually talk to comedians about their tattoos. I think the story behind tattoos are so interesting. Where did you get that? Why do you get that? Why did you get that? That is not a good look. Well, let's learn about it. And I love talking about tattoos. Definitely check that out. And I'm doing a bunch of online shows, still getting on the road. All my stuff is pretty much at Instagram. So check me out on Instagram at Erik Escobar. That is Erik with a K, and you'll get all those great updates.
There's one thing I always want to remind people when they watch this show is to be on your toes, because you never know when